In the slight chance that you've happened to have existed, you've most likely heard of this little thing called school. So we'll be discussing the American education system, which is as broken as marriage. This simply means that you forget 50% of what you learn, 50% of your sanity, and 50% of your money. It was made by Horace Mann a few hundred years ago to produce disciplined children to work in factories. Here's a picture of a school at that time compared to one now. That should tell you a lot. Most kids begin at the age of 6 or 7. It consists of 3 levels: elementary school from grades 1 to 5, middle school from grades 6 to 8, and high school from grades 9 to 12. Now don't go and assume the grade numbers actually represent the amount of years you've been learning, but rather the amount of years you've fallen behind any 10-year-old in Asia. Elementary school teaches the basics of core topics such as math, reading, social studies, and science. Middle school attempts to prepare you for high school, but it's mostly just a haven for one-week trends, 2-day relationships, and where bathrooms and hallways are film sets for these things. Finally, high school offers a wide variety of courses in different difficulty levels that affect your GPA, which simply represents the inverse relationships between you and your happiness. But before we move on, I would like to talk about something very serious. Every year, around 20 million people are scammed out of tens of thousands of dollars. This is around 6% of the US population, a very significant amount. However, people continue to fall prey to this trap all the time. I, of course, am referring to college. For context, a hand raise means accepting a student, and not raising it means declining a student. A college admission officer was quoted as saying, "There are times, honestly, I'm not sure why I put my hand up or failed to put my hand up. I'm kinda going with my gut here." If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what does. Once you've been accepted into the college of your dreams, you pay tens of thousands of dollars for professors to make you buy the 9th edition rather than the 8th because the butterfly on page 42 had blue wings instead of purple ones. Once you've worked hard for 4 straight years, you'd better hope one of these were your majors or you're not getting a job. Now that we've gone over what our system is like, let's see how it stacks up against the rest of the world. American students are 24th in reading, 24th in science, and 39th in math. This is still considerably better than life expectancy and healthcare, but is significantly worse than GDP, military, and obesity rates. So let's compare our education to the education systems of 2 extremely successful countries, Finland and South Korea, which both rank in the top 5 of best education systems in the world, but are on different sides of the spectrum. Finland is very stress-free. They have few standardized tests, minimal homework, later age when students start, and school starts later in the day. Most notably, they promote cooperation, meaning no gifted programs, between students rather than competition. These 2 differences prevent students from running around comparing schedules and criticizing you for not having as many AP classes, and kids who say that they're in the gifted program, like vegans, say that they're vegan. They also require teachers to have master's degrees. On the other hand, South Korea throws mountains of homework onto its students, causing them to study for up to 18 hours a day. Although it's extremely unhealthy, they still perform very well. The US is stuck in the middle of the 2 extremes and can't seem to make any decisions about which side to lean towards. Congress also follows this pattern. Compared to other countries, you think that we would have noticed a pattern and modified the system. When your country has people like this, it's kinda hard to do anything about it. Now we're on to what is basically all of education, the College Board, owner of advanced placement in the SAT. The AP program allows for students to take tests in 38 subjects and get college credit if they score high enough, which could save lots of money. They can also have the pride of feeling more intellectually superior than their peers because of the higher workload and boosted GPA. Here's a representation of what a conversation between an AP student and normal student is like. You might want to turn your volume down. What class are you taking? Chem? AP? No, just standard. Standard? Only standard? You fool. You uneducated monster. You would never be as successful as I. Well then, have fun. Anyways, these may seem like a great deal at first, until you realize that a test costs $94, along with textbooks and review books. And this adds up if you take multiple tests. And some colleges don't even accept certain scores. The SAT and ACT are college entrance exams that are a large factor in college admissions. When the SAT was first made, it was more of an IQ test than anything else. However, it has changed a lot in the past 100 years because of improvements in equal opportunity. Back then, it disregarded socioeconomic status, making the wealthier look smarter. However, nowadays... Oh wait.